Alright, good morning everybody. Well, actually good afternoon everybody. Ready to do some sanding on the Hydra guitar. Here's the stuff I'll be using today. Alrighty, I'll start the process and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Alright, how's everybody doing? Another quick update. All the sanding has been completed. Wow, it turned out really well. Check this out. I've spent the last 3 hours sanding this. I think as long as I've taken sanded. Went all the way up to 600 grit. It's just amazing. Next step is to put it on the hanger and put some primer coats on it to seal all this in. I just wanted to show you how good it looked. Prior to that, I'll make another video prior to shooting the primer on there. Yeah, wow. Whew, this one's good. Yeah, I gotta run up to Lowe's, get some primer. Some sandable primer. And then I'll be sanding it in between coats of primer too, so I'm gonna hurry up, put it on the hanger, and then get over to Lowe's. It's getting a little late in the day. Sun's setting. Want to get some primer before the end of the day just to have it be able to cure on there, but just wanted to show you real quick. That is just awesome. Alright, see you in a little bit. Hey, how's it going? Another update for you. I'll get ready to shoot some primer coats on there, trying to beat the the sun from going down. It's getting kind of late here in Florida. I want to put a couple coats of primer, a few coats of primer on here, as many as I can, and then have it set for a day or so. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what it looks like before the primer. Turned out pretty good, all the sanding. Yeah, it looks pretty killer. Yeah, so I'll hit you again when I get a few coats of primer on this guy. Alright, Halen Hydra electric guitar. Alright, we'll see you in a minute. Alright, sprayed the first coat of primer on there, and it's looking pretty cool. Just wanted to show you real quick. I'll definitely put several more on there. Hopefully before the sun goes down, so I can have a day or so to cure and I can sand it. And this time I'm going with the Truss 2-in-1 filler. I'm going to hit it with this for a few coats, and then I'm going to top it off with the white sandable primer and then the yellow. So that way have plenty of layers. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, how's everybody doing? Got about probably about 5 coats of primer. It's a gray filler primer, and it's looking cool. It's looking good. Check it out. I'm losing sunlight, so I might do a coat or two of white primer before I call it quits for today. And then let that cure, but I just wanted to show it to you real quick with the gray if I do decide to do the white tonight. And that's not a filler primer, that's just a regular sanding primer with the white. And then let that set and give it a, some coats, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Van Halen Hydra. Pretty sweet. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Hey everyone, how's it going? Yeah, good day today. Just wanted to catch up with you on today's progress on the Eddie Van Halen Tribute Hydra electric guitar. Just completed a little while ago the yellow base coats, and it is looking phenomenally well. I am so happy. I know I've said that the last couple But let's see. I don't want to risk getting anywhere near this paint job because it's just turned out pretty much flawless. I mean, there's a couple minor little things that you can't even see because I'm just picky, but man, it is looking good. Yeah, maybe the light will cooperate here, but yeah, this guitar's paint, it turned. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That is just, like I said before, not perfect, but it's improving. My skill as a painter is definitely getting better. But yeah, I just wanted to show you. I'm going to start working on the neck now and let this cure for about a week or so. And good news about that, I'm going to start working on the graphic on the doctor body. And I'll show you that, the progress of that when I'm doing that. But yeah, have a look at that. That is killer. And I'm deciding whether I should go 2K clear coat over this. I mean, it's already pretty good. We'll see how it fares on the after it cures for a week or so. The Billy Joe Armstrong, I didn't do clear coat on that, and that paint was similar paint as far as the type of paint and everything like that. And that turned out really awesome. And this has potential. This almost looks like a powder coat paint. It's just the Rust-Oleum, just what I was using. This is the paint that I used. Rust-Oleum Sun Yellow Gloss. Rust-Oleum is definitely the go-to now. That little debacle. But yeah, let me see if I can get her on the front here. Got the doctor. Yeah. Awesome. I really love this shape. But anyway, not to get too long-winded and chatty. But yeah, I just wanted to show you. Alright, we'll see you soon. Hope everybody's having a good day. Alright, good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? Alright. Completed the paint earlier on the Hydra, the yellow. It looks sweet. Now, figured I'd do the fretwork on the neck and get the neck squared away. Here's the stuff I'll be using, of course. If you know anything about guitar fretwork, what stuff you'll need. You need a straight edge, of course. You need your Allen tool. You'll need your file for the fret ends. I just put fresh 320 grit tape sandpaper on my leveling beam. I've got my sandpaper, and I'm gonna go from grades to after the 320, the leveling, then to do the crowning and the polishing. I'll start at 800. I go to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, and 10,000 grit sandpapers. And that'll make it nice and smooth. Your tape, of course, your X-Acto blade, you need a Sharpie to mark your frets. And then I've got my ZMAC or StuMac Z files. So, and then also your triangle. And this is your rocker arm, and that way you can, check your frets and make sure everything's level and everything like that. And on this neck also, this is a recycled neck that you've seen on that first guitar that I showed you the first video on this series. There's a couple dings in this neck, and the way I'm gonna see if I can catch that. Yeah, I can catch it right there. And the way I repair that is I'll actually fill that with CA super glue, and then I'll let it harden, and then I'll take a blade and make it flush, and then sand it flush, and then actually go through different grits of sandpaper and make it smooth. And if it doesn't become shiny enough, I can actually put some polyurethane, and I might have to do that because this neck does seem like it's got quite a few spots. So I might sand this neck also. I mean, the neck looks pretty good other than that, but there are several dings and everything like that. And I'll definitely have to fill in these holes because these tuners were cheaper tuners that from this guitar, and I'll have to widen these holes when I put the tuners that I'm going to use. And this only has one string tree, and I think it's because the break angle, it's pretty much straight Strat break angle, And the reason that you use string trees is on a Gibson neck. Let's see if I can find one here. Yeah, here's a Gibson neck. You'll notice the neck itself it's a further pitch back, so when it goes over your nut, you don't have any tuning stability issues when you're tuning. To where this is straight, and you kind of, the string trees bring down the string angle, and normally they go between the E and the B and the G and the D, and the E and the A don't have a string tree because they're fatter strings. But this one only has between the, like I said, the E and the B, and I might leave it that way. I don't think it probably would be necessary, but I might put one, seeing how I'm using a 2-point Strat style whammy on the body of the guitar. I might add the second string tree in there. Actually, this looks like the string tree is between, well, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to keep this neck the same shape. I could shape it more like the original Hydra guitar from Eddie Van Halen, but all that is just a square, kind of a boring shape, the Kramer one. There's different ones. There's a Jackson one, or no, there's a few different companies that made that guitar, that body shape for, you know, back in the 80s. But then I'm going to color this the same color, yellow, and then do my logo, of course. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna tape all these frets off. Well, actually, first I'm gonna do is I'm gonna level. You level when you do the fret work. You actually level your, you make your truss rod. You adjust it to where your fretboard's completely flat, and I'll do that by checking with my straight iron. And then once that's flat, then I'll tape it off, and then I'll see you on the next step. All right. Hey, quick update. Before I get to taping, I wanted to see if I can explain how to adjust your truss rod. For those that might not know how to do it, maybe I can give you a tip or two. Maybe you can get your standard straight edge. You can find them pretty much anywhere, and it's got two sides. Some guitars take the shallower frets, and some are the bigger frets. Depends on, you know, extra jumbo or medium. But a lot of times these will work for this, you know, with the double notch, work for any particular guitar. And the way I do it, you know, you find which side you're gonna need. Usually on the second fret. See, now that wasn't the side. See, you line it up like that, okay? And see, this neck is pretty much straight. If there's no gaps in between and it doesn't rock from, you know, if it's bowed up, if it's, you know, it's got a lot of relief on it, you'll actually be able to rock this. And if it's the other way, then you'll see. But see how there's no gaps underneath any of the spacing? You want to do it to the back and then to the front to make sure there's not you don't have a warped neck or anything. But yeah, this neck's pretty much straight. So that's just a quick tip. And if it were to be like this, you know, you would adjust it to where you put more tension on the neck, and usually it's towards you if it's a dual action truss rod, because the newer ones have both, you know, it's dual action, so you can go both ways. So I turn it this way and then keep checking it until all the gaps disappear. And if it's the other way, to where you get the metals touching here and then there's gaps on either side, then the neck is probably bent like that. And then what you'll do is you'll actually go clockwise, or down direction, and then that'll tighten it up and bring it level. So you want to make sure that your frets are level prior to doing any kind of fret work. And you know, I've done this fret work before on videos I've showed, so I'll just go be brief with it so I won't bore you guys with always doing the same things. But yeah, I'll do all the fret work, but I'll show you, you know, a second or two of each step. Alright, got everything taped up, ready to mark it and level it. Alright, we're all marked up. Time to level. Alright, got all the frets level. You can see where this first fret was a little bit low, so I had to take, you know, not a considerable amount, but these frets were really high anyway, so it doesn't affect it. But as you can see, I got them all leveled. Okay. Alright, got them remarked. We're ready to put a crown on. You see how they're flat now? If you can see the individual frets, how flat they are, because they're level now. And I went through and I checked them with the rocker arm, of course, and you know, you do this with two hands, but and I've showed this on a past video before, to where you get the two hands, focus, there we go. where you get the two hands and then you work your way up and down, and then you put one hand on each one. But anyway, next step. Alright, how's everybody doing? Okay, got everything crowned and it's looking good. So you want all these lines from the mark, and when you put the crown on it to be basically the same, quarters to each other. Alright, we'll see you next step. Alrighty, frets have been rounded and polished and looking sweet. They are shiny, look at that. Wow. Yeah, I'm trying some new sandpaper out, and with the quality of the sandpaper, I mean, it does make a difference, believe it or not. I mean, I didn't think it did. I've seen videos before like, you gotta get good sandpaper, yeah, but it does make a difference. Alright, let me take this tape off and I'll be right back. Alright, tape's off, and wow, look at that. Just wanted to show you. Yeah, and you've seen the method I use. I actually round, when I put a crown on there, I round the crown, so now the frets are perfectly rounded. And also, prior to me doing the fret work, I actually did take the fret end file, StuMac fret end file, and rounded the fret ends. As you can see, they're nice and round at the base there. And then any burrs or anything like that, you take off too. But yeah, frets are looking good. Yeah, I like when the frets are nicely, freshly polished, and when all the work is done. This neck should play amazingly. Alright, so the next step, what I'm gonna do is, seeing how these tuners that came with it, like I said before, they're the cheapy ones. You can tell by the holes that are drilled. I'm gonna fill those holes in, and then I'm gonna get the better tuners, but they're gonna need to be bored out. And the way I do this, I use a Dremel bit. You could take a drill bit and bore them out, but then I find that even if you tape it up, you can still get tear away. It'll tear it out. I mean, and depending on your drill, if you don't have a multi-speed drill, drills can be aggressive, and it'll just grab hold, and a big old chunk will be out of your neck, and then you'll be sitting there hating it. But yeah, all right. So we'll see you outside. Next step for that, I'm gonna get all set up, and then I'm gonna get the Dremel and individually do these, and then fill the holes, and then drill the new holes and install it and get that ready. And then I'm gonna put paint, and I'm not gonna use the primer on this neck because it looks pretty good already. And I did kind of clean it off with some bug and tar remover. Took off the original logo, and I scraped off any like oils that might be on there. And I'm going to use that yellow primer and paint in one, and tape all this off, and then from this point on is going to be the yellow. And then I'll let that cure for a day or two, and then I'll put my logo in black, made in the USA or something like that, or whatever. But anyway, so I'll see you next step. Hey, real quick, me again. When I stood up and I was getting ready to clean everything up, I just seen how the frets caught the light in this particular, where the fret's laying, and it caught the light, and I just wanted to show how shiny that the frets do come out when you do the multi sandpaper method. Because a lot of people just use a Dremel tool, and they'll go from left to right, and they'll just use a buffer, and they take the cheap way, the quickie way. And that just, I mean, it shines the frets, but it doesn't make them round, and it doesn't give this kind of quality. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But, alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, getting ready to bore out the holes for the tuning pegs. I'll show you that step in a second. Alright, just wanted to show you if I can do this with one hand. Try to do it with one hand anyway. These are the tuning keys. They're just the generic tuning keys. Nothing special. And you see how, yeah, they don't fit because the cheaper ones use those one little bit. So what I'm going to do is bore that open, and I'm going to bore it on the top side instead of like all around, just on the top side, so it gives a little bit more room. And this is the bit I'm going to use, Dremel, and these bits are pretty good. This one's pretty worn, but it'll still work. I've got several of these, but I use them quite a bit. So I'm going to bore that out, and I'll be right back. Yeah, alright, I got one of them bored out, and actually I got lucky. If you could see, one of the holes actually lines up, the mounting holes, so I won't have to fill that one. So that's pretty cool, and I won't have to drill that one, so that saves me a definite step, because drilling can be somewhat, kind of a stressful. But yeah, I got one. Well, there you go, and you can see the hole's bigger. And like I said, I bored it that way towards the front, so that way you get more more tuning keys sticking out. But anyway, I'll catch back in with you when I do a few more. Alright, got all the holes drilled. We are good to go for the new tuners to be put in. And I'll fill in these. See how they line up perfectly with the old holes, which really got really lucky there. Might have to adjust that one, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I'll fill in these top holes, and then that'll be it. And then time to tape it up and see if we can get a coat of paint on this bad boy tonight. Alright, we'll see you soon. Alright, got her all taped up. I got the first coat on there. I'll probably put about 3 or 4 coats. Weather is turning for the cold side. It's dropped down. It's near 53 degrees, and that's like the cutoff, so might have to go in the garage. But yeah, just putting some layers. I got it taped up here. Just wanted to knock this out real quick before it got too cold. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, paint has been completed on the headstock and looking killer. This color is the bomb. I'm gonna let this set for a little bit, and then I'm going to take off the tape and then let that and the body there dry for about a week, and then we'll continue on with that project. But next on the table is the Doctor guitar, and then I'll be starting the Kiss Symbol guitar project. So that's going to be pretty cool. The purple one. Purple, and I decided I'm going to, instead of doing, normally the purple has gold hardware, I'm going to do silver hardware, and it's going to look cool. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be carved, and anyway, so we'll be working to put the graphic on the Doctor. But we're all set. Let me peel the tape off and then show you. I'll be right back. Alright, got the tape off, and it is looking killer. Wow, I really like that neck. I'm glad I decided to use that one for this particular project. And I'll clean up all, if there's any yellow that dripped just a little, I'll make those lines, the cut lines where it's the yellow stops on the neck. I'll clean them up real good when it dries. But yeah, we'll let this cure and let the body cure, and this will signify the end of part 2 of this series, and then part 3 will be the building and testing and sounding and making the Edward Van Halen Hydra tribute guitar come to life. Alright, I look forward to continuing this guitar in a little while. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Hope everybody's having an awesome evening. Talk to you soon.